Happy birthday, America. Today is July 2nd, 2025. 249 years ago on this date, the Continental Congress approved a motion that officially severed ties between the British Empire and the 13 North American colonies then in revolt. But wait, why then do we celebrate Independence Day on July 4th? Because 2 days later, the Congress officially approved the document we know as the Declaration of Independence. This is the document that was read to the American people and sent around the world, explaining the reasons for the separation. Ever since, Americans have chosen to honor July 4th as our Independence Day. For this brief devotional, I thought I would share some words from Jesus appropriate to our upcoming 4th of July holiday. In the 22nd chapter of the Gospel of Matthew, we read the following account of a conversation Jesus had with the Herodians and Pharisees.
Then the Pharisees went and plotted how they might entangle him in his talk. And they sent to him their disciples with the Herodians, saying, "Teacher, we know that you are true and teach the way of God in truth. Nor do you care about anyone, for you do not regard the person of men. Tell us, therefore, what do you think? Is it lawful to pay taxes to Caesar or not?" But Jesus perceived their wickedness and said, "Why do you test me, you hypocrites? Show me the tax money." So they brought him a denarius. And he said to them, "Whose image and inscription is this?" They said to him, "Caesar's." And he said to them, "Render therefore to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's." When they had heard these words, they marveled, and left him and went their way. Matthew 22:15-22.
The Pharisees and Herodians, normally hostile to each other, were united in their opposition to Jesus. They tried to trap him with their question about taxes. They believed that if Jesus came out in favor of paying taxes to Caesar, he would lose popularity with the people. If, however, Jesus opposed paying taxes to Caesar, he might be arrested by the Romans. It was a calculated challenge designed to undermine Jesus. Jesus turned their challenge into an opportunity to deliver an important teaching that still resonates today. Jesus explained that people should give to Caesar what Caesar is due and should give to God what God is due. If you study what Paul says in Romans 13:1-7 and what Peter says in 1 Peter 2:13-17, the answers are clear. The civil authorities are due our civic cooperation, our taxes, and our honor. We are to honor and pray for our leaders and obey the laws of the land. Applying this to an American context, since we are nearing the 4th of July holiday, we should do the following. We should pray for our country. We should pray for the leaders of our country at all levels. We should honor our leaders and our national institutions and symbols, including our Constitution and our flag. To honor means to value and treat with respect. Patriotism is therefore biblical. This doesn't mean that we should worship our country or our leaders. It doesn't mean we have to agree with everything our government does or our leaders say, but it does mean we should respect, honor, and pray for them. Caesar is entitled to our honor, our civic cooperation, and yes, our taxes. Caesar is also entitled, in some cases, to our service, but Caesar is not entitled to our worship. Many Christians faced persecution and even martyrdom in ancient Rome over this point. What about God? What are our obligations to God? Jesus says we are to give to God what God is due. God is due everything, including yourself. When Jesus asks whose inscription was on the denarius, it was obviously a rhetorical question. He was making a teaching point. Caesar is on the coin, therefore Caesar is entitled to a portion of money in taxes. But consider whose inscription is on us. We are made in the image of God. We are therefore imprinted by our Creator. We owe our lives, our very soul, to God. It was God who made human beings in His image. It was God who breathed into man the breath of life. It was then that man became a living soul. We owe all of ourselves, everything, to God. Caesar is due some of our allegiance. God is due all of our allegiance. Therefore, as Christians living in the United States of America, we should be law-abiding citizens who honor our country and serve it as is appropriate. But our ultimate allegiance is to God. Jesus is the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, and with His kingdom there will be no end. God bless you. Happy 4th of July.
The coins bear the image of the emperor's face, a symbol of power, a time and a place. But deeper within, where the heart's meant to trod, we bear the image, the mark of our God. Render to Caesar what he's due, but give your soul to what is true. Honor the laws of this earthly land, but worship the one with the nail-scarred hands. The flag flies high in the courthouse square. We pledge allegiance, we offer a prayer, but the throne eternal, it holds my gaze beyond the stars, beyond the days. Render to Caesar what he's due, but give your soul to what is true. Honor the laws of this earthly land, but worship the one with the nail-scarred hand. The balance is heavy, the line can be thin between the kingdom of man and the kingdom within. But Jesus has shown us the way it should be. Give to the world, but let your heart be free. Render to Caesar what he's due, but give your soul to what is true. Honor the laws of this earthly land, but worship the one with the nail-scarred hand.